Let me take you on a journey, one that speaks of faith, promises, and the goodness of God. It's the story of Abraham, a man whose life was filled with moments of doubt, yet whose faith was never in vain. A life that shows us how good God really is. Imagine a man, Abraham, living in a land far from everything he knew. He had no children, no future generations to carry on his name. Yet one day, God spoke to him, calling him out of his comfort zone, saying, "I will make you a great nation." But here's the twist. Abraham was already old. He had no children. It seemed impossible. How could a man with no heirs become the father of a great nation? But that's where the goodness of God shines brightest. God's promises never fail. Despite the obstacles, despite the doubts, God was faithful. And eventually, at an age when most would have given up hope, Abraham became the father of Isaac, the child of promise. Through Isaac, God began to fulfill the incredible covenant he had made. But God's goodness wasn't done there. There came a moment when Abraham faced one of the greatest tests of his life, a test that would challenge everything he believed in. God asked him to sacrifice Isaac, the very son he had waited for, the son of his promise. Can you imagine? Abraham, with a heavy heart, prepared to obey. It made no sense. But in that moment, Abraham's obedience revealed the true goodness of God. Just as he raised the knife, God intervened. A ram appeared, and Isaac was spared. God provided, just as he always does. God's goodness isn't just about promises fulfilled or prayers answered. Sometimes it's about the way he provides when we least expect it. His goodness is shown in the most miraculous ways, turning our darkest moments into times of blessing. And it doesn't stop with Abraham. God promised that through Abraham's lineage, all the nations of the earth would be blessed. Through Abraham's obedience, God's goodness wasn't just for him, it was for the world. And that promise was fulfilled in Jesus Christ, who came through Abraham's line, bringing hope and salvation to all. The goodness of God reaches far beyond just one person. It touches everyone who trusts in him. Through Abraham, we see that God's love and blessings aren't just for us. They extend to others, to generations, to nations. But there's one more thing to remember. Abraham wasn't perfect. He struggled. He made mistakes. At times, he doubted. But in God's goodness, there was patience. God didn't abandon him in his failures. No, God walked alongside Abraham, strengthening him, growing his faith, and reminding him that he was always there. God's patience and goodness are limitless. Even when we falter, even when we doubt, God doesn't give up on us. He patiently guides us, teaches us, and when we stumble, he's right there lifting us back up. Abraham's story is a powerful reminder. No matter what you face, no matter how impossible the situation seems, God's goodness will never fail you. His promises are true. His provisions are perfect, and his patience is endless. Just as he was faithful to Abraham, he will be faithful to you. Trust in his goodness and watch as he transforms your life in ways you can't even imagine. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, no matter what you're going through, God's goodness is always by your side.